In your top stories, 3 ANC members dispersed from Nkandla and Syrian opposition groups gather in Qatar. Good afternoon. ANC members have dispersed peacefully from Nkandla after the DA leader Helen Zille and her delegation were prevented by police from reaching President Jacob Zuma's homestead. ANC members gathered on a road around 500 meters away from Zuma's home, refusing to allow the DA to come closer. Zille was advised by the police not to proceed with her visit, citing security concerns. Zille has gone to the local police station to lay charges against the group for holding an illegal gathering. However, ANC regional chairperson Thulani Mashaba claims they were given permission by the local Inkosi Bekumuzi Zuma to hold a demonstration in the area. Meanwhile, the DA has given President Jacob Zuma and his government 72 hours to provide details relating to upgrades at his homestead. The SABC's Chepo Pachane reports.
In a statement, Zille says they had gone to Nkandla to see what a 250 million renovation of Zuma's homestead with public money looks like before taking the president to court for what they see as a blatant abuse of power. Zille says they wrote to the president on the 16th of last month asking for details of how much was spent on what, by whom, and under what provision of law. But they got no response other than an acknowledgement of the receipt of the letter. Zille says if there's no substantive response from Zuma by close of business on Wednesday, they'll instruct their lawyers to take Zuma and his government to court on the so-called Nkandla Gate. The presidency says the DA's conduct smacks of a disingenuous publicity gimmick. SABC News.
Western Cape police and detectives are taking pictures in and around the dog unit building that was burnt down last night during a protest in Horston near Hermanus in the Overberg region. The area outside the building and nearby streets have now been cordoned off. The situation in the small fishing town remains tense. Police say one officer and a 13-year-old boy were injured during a protest following a funeral of an alleged Pierre Lamont poacher who reportedly drowned in the area. Female icons of liberation struggles are being honoured in Port Elizabeth this weekend with the unveiling of a women's monument at Mloteni Memorial Site in New Brighton. A tombstone in honour of struggle veteran Florence Matomela was unveiled in the Zwide Cemetery during a laying ceremony, while the ANC's regional headquarters at Standard House have renamed Florence Matomela House. Social Development Minister Batabile Dlamini unveiled a plaque in her honour, describing her as a pioneer.
She was the organizer of the ANC. She did not assume positions, and she participated very widely in the struggle for the liberation of the people of South Africa. It is befitting for the ANC to name the regional office after her, because most of the offices are named after men. And it shows other young women that you don't just get things from the trade. It is because she earned her role in the struggle, and then that is why today we are using her day to name the offices of the ANC.
International news now. Syrian opposition groups have gathered in the Qatari capital Doha for a key meeting on how to form a more united front against President Bashar al-Assad. The meeting could lead to a replacement body for the Syrian National Council, currently the main opposition in exile. Rebel forces in Syria have criticized the SNC Council as a touch of the opposition is also split ideologically. The BBC's Jim Muir reports.
The coming days will see the most concerted effort so far to pull the bulk of the opposition together and to create effective and credible structures that the outside world can work with in trying to bring about a transition in Syria. The Syrian National Council, generally seen as the biggest umbrella group, is holding 4 days of intensive internal meetings aimed at overhauling its structures completely, bringing in new, younger elements closer to events on the ground and producing a new leadership.
Lesotho Sports Minister Tesela Masibarane says he will recommend that the country's King Letsie III bestow a Medal of Honour on Mamarola Choka for her unprecedented 7th win in today's Soweto Marathon. Choka won the marathon for the 7th time in 8 years. The minister says Lesotho is proud of her for putting the small country on the map. Shadrack Hemboy of Kenya won the men's event in a record time of 2 hours, 16 minutes and 28 seconds. Recapping your top story at 3, ANC members have dispersed peacefully from Nkandla after DA leader Helen Zille and her